Really, Mothman? You want to do this, do ya? Oh, nice dodge. He did me again. That's it. I've had enough of this. Stop doing that. Oh my god, I'm being evaded by the Mothman. Haha, couldn't last forever. Now he's spazzing out. G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Bloodied Pickaxe with 40% more power attack damage as a secondary legendary effect. Not a bad setup on any melee weapon. Bloodied is extremely powerful when you've got it synergizing with a lot of the perks that I'll show off in a second, but also the power attack damage allows it to synergize extremely well with sneaky builds too, where you can actually make use of that 40% more power attack damage on a sneak critical, getting you even more damage than you would if with, say, a swing speed variant, which is actually kind of useful sometimes, because you'll very rarely need a secondary swing when it comes to most things, so getting the extra damage out of this will actually be very helpful, at least for anything that we can one-shot. We'll be testing exactly how much we can one-shot throughout the course of this video. So we're doing 121 damage with this, which is not too terrible at all. It's actually pretty good. And we've got the sharp thing. Well, I'll show you the attachments too. But yeah, let's go ahead and boost this thing's damage a little bit. It is a two-handed weapon, so it is boosted from Slugger. So we'll chuck on all of the Slugger perks. We've also got Incisor, rank 1 of that, and Martial Artist to increase the swing speed and also to give us a little bit of armor penetration. Not too much. If I had a full melee build, I'd pull Bandolier and have 3 ranks of Incisor, but that's probably a little bit negligible considering how much damage we'll be actually doing with this once we get it up to Nerd Rage threshold. And of course, Bloody Mess goes on, and that gives us 222 damage, which is pretty solid, yes. So taking a quick look at this on the workbench, you'll notice how there's only 2 mods, the Sharp and Standard, and I'm not sure if you actually need to learn the Sharp because it's not really listed, but that gives you better damage and a slight bleed on your target, which honestly is kind of negligible, but the better damage is pretty good. And here are the different paints. So this is what it looks like as of standard. Flame paint gives us a nice red blade sort of thing, like a fire axe sort of thing. That's pretty cool. The gilded paint is what you saw before. And a shark paint, which puts mouth and teeth and then eyes on it, which makes it have a little bit more character. But I like the gilded stuff, all that. But yeah, weirdly they give you 3 paints for a weapon that barely anyone would ever use ever, considering there's weapons like a pole hook, which is slightly out-damaging it, but once we get this thing fully swinging with Nerd Rage, and that gap will significantly increase. Okay, Tinkerbell is glowing with radiation, and we're under Nerd Rage, as you can tell, and special stats as of that because I'm wearing unyielding gear, and we're doing almost 1k damage, but if we look at this one, we actually do over 1k. So like I said before, that gap has significantly increased, but at damage 904, we could probably one-shot anything other than a behemoth, or maybe we could one-shot a behemoth. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, there's going to be a very important section in this video come up where I can definitively say whether the actual weapon is going to be good or not. And this is it right now. Observe. Oh, it's going to be good. That was just stealth testing. Don't mind the super mutants forgetting about me. That's just kind of a bug in the game. And I have decided to shoot stuff first, so I won't have to deal with guys not taking any damage and they're just humping the car in death. Well, at least they're getting some action finally. Might be a little bit hard as a super mutant because, well, you've got nothing down there, but he's trying at least. You can forgive a mutant for trying. Okay, so basically this is going to be all stealthy goodness, and we're not going to get detected for swinging the thing, and that means we're good to go. See, unlike the Super Sledge, which immediately just gets everyone aware of your position the moment you swing it, this thing can swing freely without drawing the attention of enemies, which is going to make it very good for my particular build, and we're hitting for 1300 now, and just to give the old bloodied pole hook 1500. So yeah, I mean, it's a negligible difference at the end of the day. You'll only see something like a Scorch Base Queen where it'll actually really matter, but in terms of how it's going now, I really can't complain about it. And I do know this is supposed to be some sort of low tier weapon that I doubt many people have used at all. So it's actually quite impressive that it is doing as much. Oh wow, a super mutant skirmisher. So let's get some power attacks in, see how much damage we can do. Okay, that is why I don't worry about that. But I got 6k damage with the power attack there, which means we could feasibly get around 12k if we were to sneak attack crit them in the noggin. So yes, thank you, not concentrated fire. Okay, that sucked. What's it called? Escape artist. That's what I want to proc. Didn't work that time. Didn't really matter. He is dead. And unlike swing speed weapons, this thing doesn't seem to misfire any of its shots, which is actually something that is good. So bugs aren't holding me back with this. You know, I was thinking about making some armor, some excavator power armor to run around swinging this, pretend I'm playing Minecraft, but I can't be fucked. And why would I? If I'm getting this much damage out of this much strength, why would I ever jump in power armor? Because that's going to give me a strength penalty, because none of my unyielding stuff will actually do anything. But I haven't been called food build in a while, and I think I killed a Deathclaw recently, so we're going to boost our damage even more. Hell yeah, 32 strength. Now you die. Oh wait, a single pixel of him is hidden behind a wall, therefore I can't hit him. Now, when you do miss swings like that, you do get a little bit punished from it because, well, you have to wait a while for this thing to start re-swinging again, but the swing speed bonus out of Martial Artist seems to cover most of what I need. If I can one-shot people like that, swinging like a madwoman, possibly procking the bug where the swing never happens at all according to the server, makes this actually more reliable. Come back here. There we go. We've got a nice teleport towards him. Oh my god. Okay. It looks like the super mutants are trying to interface with computers here, which is kind of terrifying. Maybe they've seen some Fallout 1 gameplay, right? And they saw the master who's like hooked into the computers with tentacles, and none of the super mutants had the balls to do it, so they just made the dumb dog do it instead. Unfortunately, the dog forgot to install a USB port and didn't really do all that well. And you were a 2-star with a suppressor's axe, which is going to be absolutely terrible, and I will not use it. And that is where swing speed would have helped, but since he blocked and didn't really telegraph it at all, that's where we fall short, and that is exactly why I'm going to be continuing this with stealth. See, it annoys me to no end that even on private servers, you'll have these moments where you'll have the super mutants or whatever block you, but you won't feel any feedback to it at all. Or just like the shot completely bounced off and was doing absolutely nothing, which is very, very annoying. That's not a very well thought out game mechanic at all. And I'll continue to use stealth, not only for my 3x multipliers, but for shits and giggles, and to not get shot. Not getting shot is actually kind of good. And I am actually out of Nerd Rage threshold now, so our damage has dropped off a bit, but didn't really count for much, to be honest. You should have had an automatic rifle, mate. You would have done heaps better then. There's another doggo. He was trying to interface with the trolleys, but yeah, they're not going to make any super armored tanky doggo thing anytime soon. I mean, at least they had a crack with the shoving the doggo in the computer, but nah, it's not happening with the trolleys. So we'll give this to the super mutants. At least they're trying new tactics to either throw me off, but the age-old trick of making sure you've got no feedback or telegraphy of their fucking blocking of their attacks is a tried and true method, and they should never stray away from it. Now, I don't have to worry about all of that nonsense if they're armed with rifles. You can probably get away with just jumping up in their face, sprinting at them, and executing a power attack. But when they've got ye old sledgehammer in their hands or super sledge, that is when you've got license to crouch, use escape artist, hopefully, and then give them this big smack across the chops or in the other not sensitive areas because they've got nothing down their part of the super mutants. So yeah, these guys both have rifles, gonna knock us back into Nerd Rage. We'll be kept alive by Rejuvenated and also what's it called, Serendipity, allowing, you know, just sidestepping damage entirely. And I think we're pretty much done here after I shoot this guy or kill him. A suppresses Cryolator. Gee, thanks. And I can't really tell that we're done other than, okay, the combat music's going away. Alright, so now on to ghouls, where we could possibly want the swing speed, because we're probably going to get swarmed either way, but we'll try. We'll see what we can do. Okay, so whilst I was going to fast travel here, there was a person on the map, and I really hope he hasn't triggered these ghouls at this place. He hasn't, so I made the right call in kicking him before he could have possibly done that. Alright, so now we're in danger, and shit's kind of hit the fan already. Let's just get out of here before they start swarming me. I'll probably pick up radworms in a second, won't I? But we can do this with guerrilla tactics. I don't know what that radroach was doing, but the fact that he can open a door despite being the size of, like, less than knee height is impressive indeed. Alrighty, so this might be the point where I say, yep, time to jump in power armor. Damage doesn't really matter anyway, because they're in these squishy-ass ghouls. But what I might do is I just might hop around, target something in VATS, teleport down to them, because we've got fucking 0 powers from Borderlands 2. Ended up getting a quick heal there. I looked at my health bar for a second. Fuck off. For a second there and saw that, there we go, finally died. So this is where swing speed would have been completely necessary, and those ghouls have found something else to kill. So yeah, I think the difference between the swing speed and the power attack damage comes in the things that you want to fight. If you want to fight a lot of swarming enemies that'll be taken down very easily, such as ghouls, you want that extra swing speed because you can keep dealing the damage and not having to wait for the thing to reset. What the fuck is this? Okay, the last thing I wanted to see was up a fucking ghoul skirt, but here we are. We'll keep on going regardless of that. And well, what else can I say other than I wish it kind of swung faster, but I haven't pulled any punches on the swing speed of this, but what I could possibly do instead of being out in the open is just spruce their path thing, because I know I can whack them over this table, but they can't get to me, so yeah, as long as we're not being flanked by these guys, we're doing pretty good. Still haven't managed to pick up radworms, and I don't really know why. There's another one. At least I hacked off that guy's arm. That was kind of satisfying. But yeah, just got swarmed in the end there and didn't really play well enough to get myself out of it. But that's not really to this weapon's strength, because only swinging that fast when a bunch of ghouls are surrounding you and hitting you much faster than you could possibly dish out damage, I mean, it's going to leave you a little bit in trouble in crowd control situations, as you saw there. So despite it having superior sneak attack damage potential, its crowd control factor goes down significantly. Let's move on. Okay, so Swan's up and about, which means I'm just gonna go and jump up to his head and do a power attack and see if we can't actually one-shot him. The moment you've all been waiting for. I missed. Okay, try that again. Well, I didn't get a headshot, but I managed to kill him in one, which is very, very impressive indeed, so congratulations, Pickaxe. See, like I thought, better damage with sneak, less damage with crowd control. See, I'm thinking that the swing speed and the power attack damage is comparable to the rivalry between fire rate and explosive. I'll tend to prefer fire rate on some weapons and explosive on others. Maybe that could be a cool video idea one day, explaining why I like X for Y better. We're just going to sneak around. Hopefully we don't pick up any of that flap limb, I think it is, or needle spine, because that'll reduce our strength, which is not good. And I'm going to have to throw a grenade here to get the queen up, because no way she's going to rock up without me, unless I start stomping around. Let's see if I can wake her up by sprinting. Okay, that worked. I'll deal with you in a second, Queenie. I've got to kill your babies first to not only annoy you, but make you wild and emotional. I'm going to die. There we go. Okay, the damage over time didn't kill me. I thought it did, so I just went for it, and I managed to one-shot the queen, so that's pretty good. We'll need some sort of anti-rad stuff now. Okay, it looks like we've got the tools again, and it's probably a huge mistake running through all of these rads to get to that guy, because I've lost half of what I had already, but at least we'll be doing more damage now, right? So I'm going to see if I can't get away with using sneaks to my advantage here, because I kind of failed with my stealthy approach at White Springs, but I managed to recover just by using bad pathing. Luckily, Vats is here to tell me where things are because he was obscured by the grass. We'll go into third person for a second here. Crit that one because I needed him gone sooner rather than later. And then we can do a big old hello there on that ghoul. But instead of like distracting him like Obi-Wan did to General Grievous, I'll just whack him on the head and kill him instantly, thus ending the Clone Wars. The ghoul wars are over. You can go home, everybody. And now these two. See, when I'm not getting completely rushed by ghouls, it can go well, but that was 8,700 damage. That was pretty good. But yeah, it just seems to struggle when there's too many things, but if you can control the combat and make sure you're not dealing with too many at the same time, i.e. using stealth, you can actually get away with it pretty easily. So yeah, you just got a little bit more cautious in your gameplay when you know you haven't got the swing speed to back up anything, charging at you, or too many things charging at you. Okay, I'm going to try a different tactic against the Scorch Base. Usually I just switch over to Enforcer, grab a shotgun, shoot it at its wings until it drops, and then pummel its face when it's on the ground. This time what I'm planning to do is get it into a state of caution by killing its friends, maybe hanging about this area, just get its attention somehow. And then when I'm in caution, it's searching around for me. Surely it'll be drawn to ground if I decide to, and there's another one teleporting in. If I decide to sneak and make myself hard to hit, because I got to come down to my level to investigate, right? Even though they're bats and would use echolocation. No, wrong creature. I'd like to target the minions, please. Now, being this close to the fissure site is a problem, and I might have been a good idea to grab. Oh, I got the blight too. That's even fucking better. Might have been a good idea to grab some Radex and. Oh. Okay, we've got a Lander over here. That's good. He's Lando Scorch Bestian. Now you're going to make yourself sit there, and Jesus Christ, these rads are insane. I am going to die in a second. Let's just do some emergency rad away. Thank you, escape artist, for keeping me out of trouble. And I'm actually pulling my punches a little bit with this thing because is that a 3-star? No, it's just a 1-star. And we got 4,200 damage on it, which is fairly impressive. And we'll just keep on whacking these guys. See, crowd control, we're able to get away with it that time, but we were struggling there. If we would have taken any hits out of that, we probably would have gotten very dead and stuff. And even without something like Radical, which would really be boosting my damage by quite a lot right now, we can actually do alright. And that's not a terrible drop either. I'm a fan of vampires on automatic weapons, but even on a weapon like a submachine gun, which has an increased rate of fire compared to the bulk of auto weapons in the game. So I've already done a VE one, so that won't have its own little video, but it'll probably go into the script bin. And I would have actually lost some strength out of that fight too because of the blight, but having a look, at least I had the Deathclaw stake, 1482. You can't really do too much wrong when you're getting that damage out, but it's just the DPS of it brought down by the swing speed. If I had a swing speed variant, I'd be a lot more comfortable getting down and dirty with all of those turds down there because, well, I've got the DPS to back it up. But this is what needs to be a little bit more of a slow approach. But you saw right there as I ganked a Scorch Base in one hit, it does have the damage where it counts. So if you'd like to see this thing in your game, be sure to hit me up because I think I might be selling this one. And I do highly recommend it if you've got nothing better. Even though it's a lowly pickaxe, it definitely punches above its weight roll, but I can't really justify using it when I've got this, which does have the extra damage from it being a higher tier weapon, but the swing speed too is very, very good. May not have been able to one-shot the Scorch Base, actually probably could have, but still, I do highly recommend you grab this weapon if you've got nothing better, nothing more interesting. Maybe some people from the Discord will think it's a cool novelty weapon to have because it's a pickaxe they're rarely seen, but that's about enough from me. Thank you for watching, guys.